Hey everyone, so I'm now going to talk about how I moved from Singapore to the United States for work back in August 2016. I have people coming up to me and asking for some experience, advice, and so I thought about sharing it in a grand scale in YouTube that you might maybe glean some help. Now, I'm not a legal expert, so just take my words with a pinch of salt. This is for entertainment purposes only and more or less informative, but my knowledge and understanding of these laws might be outdated. You do need to check yourself with a professional legal advisor. Now, I moved from Singapore to Fort Lauderdale on an L1B visa back in August 2016, and eventually I got my green card in December 2019. I'm not going to talk about my green card because it is a separate process, and I think this will not help you because you do need your L1 visa or H1B visa before you can get your green card. I was working for an MNC as a data engineer then, and after I expressed interest to my bosses that I wanted to move to the States, my company started the process through an L1B blanket petition. Now, if you are unfamiliar with these immigration terms, I was too, and so let me break these down in layman terms. L visas are intra-company transfers. It means the company that you work for has a global footprint and they have the scale and the economic power to invite you from a global office to the States. H visas are typical foreign worker transfers without any company affiliation. Both visas are specialized workers or manager or executive level transfers, and they are temporary. Temporary means they have an expiry date, typically 3 to 5 years. Now, L1 blanket and an individual L1 petition, they are different processes. The L1 blanket is an agreement or a status between your company and the USCIS. This means they have some specialized streamlined process to process different L1 visas at the same time. It's very fast, and I can tell you how fast it is. I applied in June 2016. In August 2016, I'm out of Singapore. So this is very streamlined, and the scrutiny, from what I heard, now this is not legal advice, this is just something that I read, but what I heard is they don't really scrutinize you through this L1 blanket as much as L1B, right? However, you do need your paper qualifications to get a L1B blanket program. Now, what do I mean by paper qualifications? You need at least a bachelor degree or a master's or anything higher. And you need some time to work there too. If you are a bachelor degree holder, you need to be in the company for at least 5 years. And if you are a master's degree holder, you need to be in the company for 3 years. Now, I was at a point of time at 5.5 years when I applied to the States. And so I realized I was at the right place at the right time out of God's blessing. The cost for the immigration process with the US consulate were absorbed by my company. And rightly so, because your company should have the economic scale to bring you over. You shouldn't worry about like consulate costs and application fees and all that. In the interview process, there were a plethora of documents that you need to provide, and these are going to be provided from your legal advice anyway, but I'm just going to give some of it to you just for information's sake. Your recent pay slips, copies of your passports, your resume, bachelor degree certificate copy, various forms. One of the forms are Form I-129S. This form is what I needed to carry with me with my passport to go through custom. So your legal advice will tell you what forms to bring with you, but I had a form that I had to bring with me when I traveled with my passport. Also, I needed to provide write-ups on my specialized knowledge. Now, when I applied, it is an L1B visa, which means I have specialized knowledge or skill that could benefit the company, could benefit US economy or the job market, and it is hard to hire. So you have to provide, and I had to provide certain write-ups, proofs and evidences on these knowledge. Now, this is not exhaustive, whatever that I said in terms of documents. Again, go through your legal advice, but the write-ups is something that you do need to pay attention to, and your company will also help you out as the process goes. And the lawyers do help me out. They actually ask me questions. They help me to craft some stuff and to phrase it in a certain way. You have to listen to your legal advice. After the whole write-up, I had to go for an interview at the US Embassy. They will also check, through a face-to-face interview on the specialized knowledge. Now, it was a little bit daunting, I have to admit, because I've read in blog posts that they do ask you specific questions just like a normal job interview, like a tech interview, and I was applying for data engineer. I even studied up on how to answer some of these questions because, maybe they ask for some math formulas, some stuff that I don't really know about. So I prepared a little bit because I was a little bit afraid. But essentially, when it came time for me to interview, they didn't really ask a lot of math questions. They were just asking on some general stuff on my specialized knowledge. I didn't really have to prepare that much. But just in case, if your case is a bit different, do your homework. Although this was an intra-company transfer, you are effectively moving from a Singapore company to a US company, and the labor laws are going to be different. So you have to renegotiate your contract as a result. I had to renegotiate mine. I can't really tell you about the details right now because I'm still working with the company, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Let me just give you a little tip in the renegotiation process. Always include a relocation package in your negotiation, and remember that your relocation package is taxable under US laws. At a point of time, I didn't know that my relocation package was taxable under US laws, and so I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't calculate well. At the end of the day, try to make sure that you have a sizable relocation package because you are moving into a new country. I moved with nothing except my backpack and my luggage. And so you do need stuff like, hey, I'm gonna rent in a new place, or I'm going to stay in a hotel, or I'm going to do this, buy that. Essentially, just make sure you have your relocation package all calculated in. So after everything is over, I had only a month to say my goodbyes to my friends, family, and loved ones, and I moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The company really paid for my stay for the first month in a hotel, and that hotel was near to the company office. I just walked to office daily, So after I got all my visa approvals and contracts sorted out, I moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now this is a beach area. If you are familiar with Miami, 45 minutes north in terms of driving time, you'll reach Fort Lauderdale, a place famous for boats, cruisers, and all water stuff. If you like the beach, Miami Beach is one, Fort Lauderdale is another. Now once I arrived in Fort Lauderdale, there is a plethora of administrative stuff that I need to do to make sure that I'm settled in, but I'm not going to cover this in this video because it is just too much. I might put it up in a separate video. Just let me know in the comments below that you want to know more about how I settled in to the United States. I know I'm skimming some stuff, but this is just practically the process that I went through. Let me know in the comments also if you experience different stuff, and also do let me know if you want to know more about the visa process that you might go through if you want to move to the States for work. My name is Jonathan, and I will see you guys next time for another video.